It's that time of the week again where I'm doing night shifts, and therefore I want to explain a condition to you. And this one is meningitis. So let's see if you can learn something about meningitis. So the first misconception, meningitis itself is not the name of an infection. Meningitis simply means inflammation of the meninges. But what is that? Well, your spine and your brain have a fluid around them and a small layer that protects the brain and spinal cord. And this fluid is the meninges. And what happens if that becomes inflamed is that you have meningitis. Now, infections cause this inflammation, but that could be kind of any infection that crosses over the barrier into that space. When it gets there, it causes it to become inflamed. The problem with that is that that area, specifically when it's covering your brain, your neck, your spinal cord, when it becomes inflamed, it doesn't really have much room anyway. So if you then introduce less room, that's why you start getting all these horrific signs and symptoms. So you can get that stiff neck and that photophobia. And that's because it's putting pressure on parts of your brain and neck because it's becoming inflamed in a space that can't handle it. You also get things like, they call it a non-blanching rash. Well, actually, it's not really a rash. It's a type of bruising. And that's why it doesn't go away when you put a glass tumbler over it, because it's not a rash at all. The thing is, the rash is a late stage symptom. If you're thinking meningitis, you really need to think it early on. If you've got specifically a child, but it does indeed happen to adults, a child that is not interacting normally at all, is really hard to console, is screaming in pain, then you need to get them seen. Waiting for the late stage symptoms can be fatal, so please don't do that. Trust your gut as a parent. But that's meningitis. It's inflammation of the meninges, and that is what covers the brain and spinal cord. There you are.